Hello everybody and welcome to day 2 of spoiler season for Adventure in the Forgotten Realm. This is Magic's new D&D crossover set. My name is Stefan, I'm a content creator here on YouTube, and I'm coming to you live from the General Warfare headquarters right here in my apartment. Before we start with this video, I just want to ask you guys to follow me on my socials. I've been very active on TikTok, I'm active on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter as well, so follow those for all the Magic the Gathering fun and content, upcoming content from this channel. Now, we've seen some new cards come out for day 2 of Adventure in the Forgotten Realm. I want to know from you guys, what do you guys think of yesterday's video, and what do you guys think of yesterday's spoilers? And at the end of the video, I'll ask you guys to do the... Doesn't make sense. We saw some new and fun interactive cards yesterday with Adventures of the... We saw some new and interesting... cards for day 1 spoilers, and we're gonna go over some more cards today and from day 2. Although today we're gonna be doing 10 cards instead of the natural 12. The only reason why is because I had 10 cards I really wanted to talk about in this episode. So without further ado, let's get started. Let's talk about these cards. Let's go. So the first card we're going to talk about is Faraday, Devil's Chosen. This is a new Tiefling Warlock that has been released today, and the ability, whenever you roll a die, she gets Menace and Flying until end of turn. If any of those results in 10 or higher, you draw a card. See, she seems like a fun commander to build. Faraday just needs a little bit more die rolling cards and support, just like how coin flipping decks have gotten so much help and so much support over the years. But if there's a little bit more support in this set, then she seems like a very versatile and very fun commander option for you to play with. Next, we're gonna look at the Froghemoth. This is a 4/4/3 green for a frog horror with trample and haste. Whenever Froghemoth deals combat damage to a player, exile up to that many target cards from their graveyard. Put a +1/+1 counter on Froghemoth for each creature card exiled this way, and you gain a life for each non-creature card exiled this way. This is such a fun, dumb card. It could easily fall into legendary status. I'm kind of surprised it hasn't, and I'm kind of sad it hasn't. But that's just a personal opinion. However, as a Grave Hate card itself, or as part of the 99, it seems crazy fun. Like, you have so much interaction with this, especially the fact it has haste, and you can swing in for 4, deal 4 damage, exile 4 cards, and either get 4 life, 4 +1/+1 counters, or a combination of the 2. It's just a really stupid card to add in your deck, and I would personally say put it in every single deck that has green in it for that hate. Next, we are looking at Zariel, Archduke of Avernus. She is a 4 loyalty planeswalker for 2 and red. +1 ability is creatures you control gets +1/+0 and gains haste till end of turn. The 0 ability is create a 1/1 red devil token with when this creature dies, it deals 1 damage to any target. And the ultimate, the -6, is you get an emblem with at the end of the first combat phase on your turn, untap target creature you control. After this phase, there is an additional combat phase. It has a haste enabler and a token generatable active loyalty abilities when you cast her. This is just extremely good, extremely fun, especially since you have no drawback when you first cast her. Now, her ultimate is pretty darn good, if I'm gonna say so myself, although it's unfortunately not stackable, so you can't just stack emblems with Zariel. Although giving your creatures haste is more than enough to get a lot of heads turned your way, and a lot of scary looks go your way as well. Next, we're gonna look at You Happen on a Glade. It's an instant for 2 and a green, and you get to choose 1. You either get to Journey On, which lets you search your library for up to 2 basic land cards, reveal them and put them into your hand, then shuffle, or you make Camp, return target permanent card from your graveyard to your hand. It's instant speed ramp and recursion. I'm calling this right now and saying this will actually be a strong green staple in budget and mid-tier green decks, especially the fact it doesn't cost 2 green or multiple. It's just 2 and a green to either let you ramp or return a permanent card from your graveyard to your hand. I'm calling it now. It's going to be really, really good. It's going to be really busting to me in a lot of decks in the foreseeable future. Next, we are looking at Hama Pashar, Ruin Seeker. It's a 2/3 for 1 and Azorius, so 1 white and blue for a legendary human wizard. Room abilities of dungeons you own trigger an additional time. So I need to see a few more spoilers for Hamna Pashar to actually take effect. She is an uncommon, so I'm assuming there's going to be another dungeon-related commander in multiple colors. and something, hopefully there is like, you win the game if you complete all the dungeons card. That's just me throwing it out there. Let's see in the future if it actually happens. Nonetheless, it seems like it can actually be a functional backup commander in the case. Dungeon venturing is a new ability in the set, and unless there are more dungeons that haven't been spoiled except for the main 3, it may be a repetitive deck to play with and to play against, so you already know what you're getting into with Hamna Pashar. Now I'm gonna be going over 2 cards that I missed yesterday. So the first one is Wish. So if you've been living under a rock, Wish is 2 and a red for a sorcery. You may play a card you own from outside the game this turn. I'm honestly glad this is not playable in Commander. This is just my hot take on it. It would already be too easy to win if it were legal, and plus this is an easily abusable card. You easily tutor it up on like turn 2. Nonetheless, I really don't like this card. That's just a personal opinion of mine. It's already jarring so many people with this card, and honestly, it's my hot take on the situation. And the second card we're gonna be looking at from yesterday's spoilers was Oswald Fiddlebender. He is a 2/2 for 1 and a white legendary gnome artificer with white, and tap it to sacrifice an artifact. Search your library for an artifact card whose mana value is equal to the mana value of the sacrificed artifact +1, then put it into the battlefield. Shuffle your library, activate it only as a sorcery. So this is mono white artifact pod. So it's such a strong ability on a low cost of commander. I'd love to see this deck work and see what kind of shenanigans you could pull off with this deck. Ultimately, you're going to be using a lot of pod cards like Pyre of Heroes if you're running it, Kuldotha Forge Master, any different kind of pod cards you have with artifacts and available in white. We're looking at 2 more cards today, the first of which is Krydle of Baldur's Gate. So Krydle is a 1/3 for Dimir, so blue and black for a legendary human elf rogue. When Krydle deals combat damage to a player, that player loses 1 life and mills a card, and you gain 1 life and scry 1. Whenever you attack, you may pay 2. If you do, target creature can't be blocked this turn. I think it's honestly okay. It doesn't seem, I don't see this being a game-ending commander or a game-ending card itself. The second ability is only payable once. You can't just do it to every single one of your opponent's creatures. And the fact they're only losing 1 life and milling 1 card, not super significant. If anything, it's just an extra toolbox card for Dimir mill strategies. And the last card we're gonna be looking at today is Targ-nar Demon Fanged. So Targ-nar is a 2/2 for Gruul, which is my favorite color combination. Red and green for a legendary Gnoll that has pack tactics. Whenever Targ-nar attacks, if you attack this with creatures with total power 6 or greater this combat, attacking creatures get +1/+0 until end of turn. And you can pay 2 and Gruul to double the power and toughness of Targ-nar until end of turn. I don't feel this being a commander that's going to turn a lot of heads, unless you're building it as a Voltron big boy deck where his power and toughness gets jacked up immensely. Targ-nar just seems like, I don't know, doesn't seem like a super big threat, especially being a 2/2. I would have hoped this would have been a bit bigger, hope maybe like 4 or 6 power. I would have totally accepted, especially since cards have higher power and higher damage dealing effects. I'm kind of underwhelmed with this card, to be quite honest with you. And those are the 10 cards that we're going over in today's video. What do you guys think of day 2 spoilers? Do you think it lived up to day 1's? Or do you think there are a few missed cards from today? Let me know in the comments down below. As I mentioned to you at the beginning of the video, you can follow me on my socials. I'm on TikTok very actively with all the reactions to the new cards that come out. I'm also active on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, so check me out on there. Give me some comments, some feedback. What do you guys want to see? Anything, just hit me up on there and follow. That's the only way you're going to get notified of the new schedule and the new any new releases coming out on the channel. Don't forget, also, like the video, share it amongst your friends, subscribe, hit the bell icon. That's how you're going to be notified of every video that comes out on YouTube. I'm posting every day this week and the following weeks until spoiler season for Adventure in the Forgotten Realm is over. And then after that, I'll be giving you my commander overview of the entire set. So with that, today's video is gonna come to a close. I'm Stefan. I'll see you guys tomorrow for day 3 of spoiler season. Until then, cheers everybody.